Greiner Talks, about sustainability and transformation. A Greiner podcast episode.
How to change? How to create a sustainable future? That's what we're discussing here. My name is Alexander, I'm part of the sustainability team at Greiner, and right now I'm at the Climate Lab Vienna. I'm here with the co-founder of MATR, an award-winning circular economy startup. Thanks for inviting me, Michaela Stephen.
You're very welcome. Pleasure to have you here.
What a nice location for our interview. Can you tell me something about it?
Yeah, absolutely. The Climate Lab is a brand new space here in Vienna, basically for climate-oriented companies. And it's run by various players, including Impact Hub, the BMK, so the Climate Minister of Austria, Wien Energie, and various other corporates as well. So it's really a space to bring together key players in the industry who are trying to make a more sustainable future. So there's co-working space, there's event space, there's some fun areas to have your own office if you like. And yeah, it's all made from sustainable materials, and they really focus on trying to push forward that message of sustainability in everyday business. So we're really proudly based here as our office for MATR. And yeah, we've been here since November, so it's still quite new to us as well.
And creating a more sustainable future, that's a big thing for your business, which Greiner is a shareholder of. I'd like to start by asking, what's the idea behind MATR? Could I ask you for an elevator pitch?
Absolutely. We're quite used to those. So as you mentioned, we are an award-winning startup based here in Vienna, and we have created the first circular economy mattress solution for hotels. We like to say we save times, hotel money and CO2 with our solution, all whilst providing their guests with a premium night of sleep. What really sets us apart is our circularity. So everything we do is about closing the loop, keeping our materials in use for as long as possible, retaining their value, and essentially reusing them, refurbishing them, or recycling them. Our design is also pretty pioneering, but maybe I can get into that in a bit more detail later on. So yeah, that's us. I founded the company alongside my co-founder, Verena. She's Austrian. I'm originally from Scotland, as you can tell from my accent. So yeah, we create a nice duo, the two of us, a Styrian and a Scot.
I've had the pleasure to meet Verena outside just before the interview. And if I understand correctly, you rent mattresses to hotels. Is that correct? Can you break that down for me?
Yeah, so our solution is built on three key pillars. First of all, it's our circular economy mattress. So we pioneer with the design of our mattress and the CO2 impact of our mattress. For example, it has 50% less CO2 compared to a conventional mattress on the market. And the design and quality is also pioneering as well. So the mattress is the first pillar of the solution that we provide hotels with. The second part is the service model we add on to the mattress for the hotel. We found through the initial stages of developing our idea that mattresses are really annoying for hotels. They're bulky, they're expensive, they're difficult to keep clean, and they're directly linked to guest satisfaction. So we're actually also looking to digitise the mattress journey for hotels so they can keep track of their mattresses, keep them clean, keep them fresh, and also get rid of them responsibly with us at the end of their life. And then the last pillar, as you mentioned, is renting. So we offer them the option to rent or to buy outright. So yeah, that's the three pillars of the MATR solution, and where we're really trying to enable hotels to be more sustainable through their purchasing, something as simple as a mattress, but at the same time making their lives easier by saving them time, money and CO2.
All of us are sleeping on mattresses, or most of us are sleeping on mattresses, but we don't really think of the impact or footprint of mattresses. What's the big problem of it? Can you summarize that?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is actually what got Verena and I's journey started. We came across quite a frightening statistic, and that is that 30 million mattresses end up as waste only in Europe every single year. So you can only imagine what that is on a global level. And to put that into context, 30 million mattresses is the equivalent of 20,000 stacked Eiffel Towers worth of mattress waste. So it's incredible, the sheer volume of this waste that's happening every single day. And that's really what got us started. And we dug into the problem. We were like, why are these mattresses being landfilled or incinerated, or why are they being downcycled and also eventually ending up as waste? And it comes right back to the design of the mattress from the start. If you design a mattress with no recyclability in mind at the end of its life, then it's always going to end up as waste. And so that's where we started. We started with that problem and we thought we're going to solve that. And that's what we've done.
So it's not as easy as providing mattresses as a service and renting it to hotels. You're also really challenging the design of the mattress itself.
Absolutely. And there's so many pillars involved in that, especially with circular economy. You know, you have the whole life to consider of the product. And with our mattress, we have various elements. So, you know, it can last 10 years before it needs to then go on to the next customer. Before it hits the next customer, we can refurbish it and reuse materials and then sell it on again. It can actually do that 2 or 3 times before it then ultimately goes for recycling, where the materials are re-entered back into the loop again. So there's various touch points along the way where you can really increase the lifespan of these materials, and that's for us so exciting, and we're only at the start right now, so there's a long way for us to go.
And is that a regular lifespan of a mattress, around 10 years?
Yeah, that's about the average. You hear it on a B2C level, so everyday customers like me and you, we maybe use our mattresses for a lot longer than that, which is very normal, to be honest. It is recommended, though, that you change every kind of 7 to 10 years. But in the hotel space, it's much different. You know, the quality has to always be upkept. And we find that the average there is between 4 and 8 years that mattresses are changed.
And I guess all of us have slept in hotels where the mattress does not provide very good sleep.
Yes, I actually just slept in one the other week, and I must admit I'm much more obviously biased now, but it does really ruin your next day when you don't get that good night of sleep, you know?
On your website, it says, make sleep matter for your guests and for the planet. What is the benefit for hotel guests who are spending a night on one of your mattresses?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We took, again, a very research-intensive approach from the start of creating the idea for MATR, where we interviewed people, we undertook a lot of research, and the research kind of speaks for itself. 83% of travellers are demanding more sustainable options for when they travel. That comes to their hotels, how they travel, everything you can imagine. And so by providing them something to sleep on that doesn't end up as a waste, that can be re-entered back into the loop, that can reduce CO2 emissions, we provide a story to them to be part of our mission with us. And right now we're also working with some of our hotels partners to really bring that story to life for the guests, so we can really show the change they're helping us to create together. That's why we say let's make sleep matter together.
So it's both about the quality of the sleep and also the footprint of the mattress and the sustainability.
Exactly, yeah.
In which hotel do I have to check in if I want to sleep on a MATR mattress?
Yeah, very good question. So we have a few options for you. You can check out Hotel Altstadt in Vienna, Hotel Beethoven in Vienna, and also Lenikus hotels in Vienna. So let us know if you want to book a room and we can get something organised for you.
What's your response from hotels? How do you approach them? What's their response to you?
Yeah, so far, very good. We've got a strong sales pipeline in our next quarter set up, and we obviously already have some first customers, and we only just founded our company 6-7 months ago, so we're still a very young company, but the first customers are the proof for us that the idea has potential. We also have received great feedback, so for example, the average rating we get from guests who sleep on our mattress is 4.9 stars out of 5. We've also validated that we save hotels time and money. We save them around €350 per mattress due to the fact that we take care of the mattress's life at the end of the hotel's use. And then we also, as I mentioned before, save them CO2. So that sustainability messaging for the hotel is also a nice add-on that we see them responding very nicely to.
I can't wait to try the mattress that sits outside your office. And you mentioned you didn't start this business by yourself. It's a very young business. So an important person in your life is your co-founder, Verena. How does your team look like? How many are you?
Yeah, I honestly couldn't do it without Verena. I'm so grateful every day that I have her by my side as my business partner. At the moment, it's Verena, myself, and our 2 interns who work part-time, so 2.5 full-time employees, if you like. And yeah, we're in the fight towards ending mattress waste together.
Michaela, I've also mentioned in the beginning that Greiner is a shareholder of MATR. You're a young and growing startup. At the same time, now you're collaborating with one of the world's leading suppliers of plastics and foam. How did this collaboration come about?
Yeah, that for me is also a really interesting question, because had you told me 2.5-3 years ago that I would be founding a mattress startup, I definitely don't think I would have believed you. I never believed you if you said it was also with a traditional plastics and foam provider. You know, it's funny where life can take you. So yeah, to take a step back, where did we begin? And I think that's very important here because we began with Greiner. Myself and Verena, were actually working together for a couple of years in consulting. We were always the two consultants passionate about sustainability, and we were always kind of pushing forward for projects that had that kind of positive impact. And one weekend during the height of the COVID-19 lockdown, we came across this hackathon event that was all about circular economy ideas. And Verena and I thought, okay, let's take part, let's walk the talk. As consultants, you're always the one behind the scenes telling people what to do, but this time let's get involved and walk the talk, basically. We took part and we picked the challenge on mattress waste, and funnily enough, the sponsor of that challenge was Greiner Innoventures to be more specific. And that's where we met our current collaborators, Steffi and Philip. And over that weekend, Verena and I created the idea, basically on a pitch deck presentation. We got some really nice feedback and we thought, okay, this has some potential. We stayed in touch with Greiner as we continued our consulting roles, and we worked on the idea on the side. So yeah, you can imagine a full-time consulting role and trying to launch a startup idea. Quite a tough time for us, but we pushed through. And then, we got a green light for the investment from Greiner about 6-7 months later. And that's really what accelerated Verena and I to quit our jobs, to say, you know what, let's give this a go. Let's give it 110%. And here we are 2.5-3 years later now. And we have founded the company with Greiner on board. We have our first customers, first revenues. And everything is looking good. It's not easy by any means, but things are going in the right direction.
So the two of you founded a business together with a large-scale international business. That's really quite surprising. Yeah,
very surprising. But for us, it was also surprising just how open and innovative the Greiner team were, and supportive, because when you have such a small idea on a pitch deck, to then get that to a stage where it can become a founded company is a lot of work. And they supported us along that journey. So actually, without them, I'm not sure what would have happened. I think Verena and I would have pushed through because we are very passionate people about what we're doing, but their help was key.
And in your daily business, how does your collaboration look like? Do you meet regularly? Do you present results to the executive board of Greiner? I'd like to get a feeling for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we meet every 2 weeks on a kind of Monday bi-weekly catch-up, we call it. And that's where we just discuss, what's going well, what's not going well, how are things looking in the different departments, so sales, marketing, product, team, finance. And we kind of do a deep dive together. And then maybe every quarter we have more in-depth sessions. But there's also some brunches they host with the other startups in the portfolio of Greiner Innoventures. And that's where everyone can kind of come together and all the founders can meet and discuss some challenges they're maybe being faced with and just kind of help each other. So it's a nice supportive network.
And I'm following the journey of MATR, or formerly known as Sleepify, also since 2 or 3 years nearly. I'd like to know, do you remember a special moment in your collaboration with Greiner? What comes to your mind immediately? Anything that stands out?
Yeah, for sure. It would be the day we pitched the idea to the supervisory board for the investment. And I remember we came out of the call after pitching, and you can imagine, you're pitching to C-level of Greiner AG and various other people who are on the advisory board as well, who are all very experienced. And here we come in with this kind of quite innovative, crazy idea about mattress waste and how we can end it. And to come out of that call, and the next day, I think it was, we got a call from Steffi and Philip, and they were like, yeah, guys, it's green light. And for us, that was a very key moment, I think. Verena and I were literally screaming, so yeah.
I can only imagine. And I mean, from having an idea to actually bringing this idea to life, that's a very long and challenging way. So I'd like to learn from your experience as a founder, as somebody who brought an idea to life. How do you do that? What do you need for it?
Yeah, that's a very kind of difficult question, because I think everyone's journey is very different. And I always like to kind of preempt when I answer this question with the fact that Verena and I were very privileged to have met Greiner at the start and to have that support from the start. And not every young or even experienced founder has that advantage. So I always like to kind of take note of that and the privilege that we had. But yeah, it takes a lot of getting yourself back up when you get knocked down. There's a lot of knockdowns. Now, I know that's quite cliche, you hear that a lot, but it's very true. One day you'll get 3 pieces of incredible news. The next day you'll get 6 pieces of terrible news. And it's all about always trying to push forward and not let those bad pieces of news tear you down, but at the same time being realistic about what you can and can't do. And I think my number one piece of advice would be talk to your customers always. You know, we would never have founded the company and moved ahead if we hadn't got some validation from our customers that this was an idea they're interested in, this is a product they would buy, and to really uncover the market potential. If we hadn't done that, I wouldn't be sitting here today, because strongly I believe that you need to have that validation before you throw a pile of money into it. And it's all about moving fast as well. You know, the faster you move and test and fail as well, the faster you can move forward and decide what's next.
And any other advice for somebody who has a great idea but doesn't have any background in business or startups or has never even thought about founding a company?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many resources. If I look at Austria, for example, never mind the rest of Europe or the world, there's so many entrepreneurial networks, universities who really promote kind of coming together at events, or even kind of specific startup related events where you can meet a co-founder. You can get involved with a brand new team you've never met before and co-create an idea together over a weekend, a bit like what we did with MATR. And so there's so many formats out there actually to help bring people together with diverse skill sets and to help them create an idea to move forward with. So I would say if that's someone listening is interested in such a thing, like Google it, see what's in your local neighbourhood, what can you do, what can you get involved in. And, you know, there's also platforms online where you can advertise for a co-founder and really advertise for specific skills you're looking for.
So it's a lot about networking, and you don't have to bring all the skills yourself.
Absolutely. And if you look at Verena and I, we have very strong business backgrounds in circular economy, but the technical side, we're very open about that. We're no experts. So we need to bring that in always. And I think when you can admit you're not an expert and you learn by doing, that's all you need.
Michaela, your startup is called MATR, and I'd like to know what matters to you on a personal level. Is it money, success, impact, creating a sustainable future, all at once?
Yeah, for me, it's always been creating a business that's sustainable financially, but also sustainable in terms of its everyday operations and the impact it has on the planet. I think that profit for a business is crucial in order to sustain this social and environmental impact that you create. So building a strong business foundation is key to be able to then, you know, actually deliver what you're trying to achieve on a mission level. And for me, that's always been my kind of North Star since I decided I wanted to be a founder. And I learned that actually working for a social enterprise in the UK before I moved here, an incredible organisation called Wild Hearts. And they used a different model where 100% of their profits were reinvested into their charity. So you were working every day, and every cent you made for the company would get basically put right into the charity, and you would see the social projects being delivered by the charity since you're all in the same room together working. So that model and that way of working really taught me that the profit is important to be able to then fund what you want to deliver to the world, you know.
So doing business, but doing it in a good way, in a way with a social impact that is positive and ecological.
Yes, exactly.
Michaela, I'd like to ask many more questions, but we're slowly coming to an end of the conversation. So I'd love to invite you for a short word wrap, if that's fine for you.
Yeah, of course.
So I'll give you one word, one term. You can answer with whatever comes to your mind. Can be just a word or a short story.
Okay.
First one, sleep.
8 hours a night is crucial for a foundation of health.
Running a business.
Challenging, rewarding, exhilarating.
Your team.
The core.
Dreams.
Time to make them a reality and put an end to mattress waste.
Success.
A future without waste.
Your favorite whiskey.
Glenfiddich.
Last but not least, your message to the world.
So from my side, I strongly believe circular economy provides a huge opportunity for the world. It's a $4.5 trillion opportunity in terms of economic growth, stimulates innovation, reduces waste and creates employment. So I think it's time we make the world more circular.
Nothing more to add here. Thanks for this wonderful conversation, Michaela.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And thanks to all of you for listening. connect with Michaela and her co-founder Verena on LinkedIn. Check out their website matter.eco. Subscribe to this podcast and have a nice day.
Greiner Talks, a Greiner podcast. Subscribe now.